Hey there, welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. I am your host, Chris. Welcome to my review video for Arrow, Season 4, Episode 20, entitled Genesis. Okay, guys, this episode was a very strong episode. I really liked it overall. I am going to get into my positives for this episode real quick because I have quite a few of them. The first positive I had for this episode was Damien Dark back being a badass again. I really like seeing him being this strong, powerful, evil villain that's in the last few episodes he's just been very weak. He was in prison, he was getting beat up, and um, it's like they forgot really what to do with this character. It's like they were trying to stretch his storyline out or something. He started off very strong in this season, I thought, and now towards the end, now he's back to form. In the middle there, he was actually starting to get a little weak, and they were really undermining the character. And Neil McDonough is a great actor, and I think he portrays a villain very well. Very well. So I'm happy that they finally are getting this character. They got his magic back. He's walking into the Hive headquarters. He's killing people. He's snapping their necks. He's throwing bullets at them. He's going after Lila in this episode. He's very ruthless in this episode. So I'm very happy that they finally got him back to form. So that was a big positive. I really like that whole twist that Oliver got powers now. I mean, he's got these light powers to actually face Damien Dark. I mean, we finally have a way to stop Damien Dark because it gets to the point where like this guy is like super powered magical. How do you stop this guy? Because shooting arrows and bullets and stuff at him is not going to stop him. So I'm really happy that they finally weaved in a way to actually stop him with Oliver getting these powers of the light, basically. And from this totem, we find out that the totem actually channels the powers. It's not really the source of his power. So that was really cool. And I also really liked hearing Constantine in this episode. They dropped his name a few times. We actually went to that casino or whatever, and we find this woman. Her name is Fortuna. I really liked her as well. I thought she was really cool. One of the maybe things that kind of bothered me though is I thought she dropped Oliver kind of quickly. It was like she did a few like lessons or whatever, to try to teach him, how to channel this power, and it's just like she's seen into his mind or his history or whatever, and we see that he actually is still juggling the dark side, and basically he's not good enough to basically channel the light side. So I liked all those flashbacks and everything, but I thought she gave up on him a little too much. She's like, nope, I can't deal with you. Get out. You're a lost cause. Goodbye. So that was a little bit of a disappointment, but I really did like her very much. And I liked hearing Constantine's name. I wish we would have got a scene or something with Constantine. That would have been badass. Hopefully they bring him back at some point because I think he would be awesome on this show or Legends of Tomorrow or whatever. So I just wish we would have seen him. That would have been cool. I enjoyed very much seeing Andy Diggle finally get axed. He's finally gone. That character was not doing it for me. I mean, we have it from the beginning of this show. We find out that Andy was dead. He had a family, this and that. And then they bring him back this season, and it's just like we find out, he was an a-hole anyway, and true to form, he's still an a-hole. So I mean, it really didn't do much for me. They tried to make a twist in there to make it look like maybe he was a good guy, like a complete 180 turn, like so fast, like he's going to give up everything being evil that he's done to just turn good all of a sudden. And then he turns out he was tricking them and actually had helped kill Laurel and all that. I wasn't surprised by any of that. I mean, it didn't do anything for me. So I mean, that whole character was just I just didn't really care much for that character at all, and I'm glad he's dead. So yeah, I did think that there was some tension between Diggle and Andy at the end. This whole episode I thought was really good scenes with them, especially at the end there where they're fighting, and then eventually John Diggle killing Andy, and I thought there was some tension there, so I really did like that. and finally, John getting some justice for Laurel. That's the way I felt anyway, that he was finally getting some justice for her, for because it was Andy's betrayal that basically started that whole domino effect of Laurel getting killed. So another positive was Lila. I was happy to see Lila back. We haven't seen her in a few episodes, and we find out she's on this like moving tractor trailer rig. So I mean, I think I like those scenes with John and Lila together and the family and being together. I really like those scenes. And finally seeing Lila back, I mean, that was a positive for me. I also liked Thea in this episode again. I thought she was really good in those scenes that she had with um, with Alex. I thought were really well done, and that whole neighborhood. That I was actually confused what was going on myself. I was like, is she like asleep and she's dreaming this and they're in her mind? Is this really happening? Whoa. I mean, everything was a really creepy, really weird effect going on here. Alex was acting mechanical, or like he was a drone or something. So and then she started hearing the chirping and the barking and like this like recording over and over again. So I was like, oh well, maybe she is in the real world. I mean, what is going on here? And then I figured, well, they probably have her stashed in some area or something. And I really did like that whole Truman Show under the dome, type effect, with her in this, Pleasantville type neighborhood. It was really cool. I mean, I really did like that. I'm going. I can't wait to find out what happens with that, because I mean, no, the team does not know where she's at. She's like underground in this dome thing. So I mean, what is going to happen there? So that was some cool stuff. I thought Thea did a really good job with that. This episode overall had some great action, a lot of cool fight scenes, a lot of cool action scenes with guns being fired and shot, and Damien Dark fighting Oliver. So yeah, I mean, there was a lot of cool action scenes in this. That motorcycle chase that they had towards the end there with Diggle and the Hive members and Andy, I thought was really well done. And they had this cool soundtrack playing with the beats and the drums and everything. It was very well done. I mean, I really enjoyed the soundtrack in this, and the overall action I thought was really well done. Also, another positive for me, there was no flashbacks in this, and I didn't miss them. I didn't miss them at all. I thought it was really refreshing that we don't get weighted down or taken away from what is happening now in the episode to a flashback to what happened before, and something that doesn't really matter to me or I really care about. So it was actually really refreshing for me. We did get a slight glimpse at the woman that's on the island in the flashback with Oliver, her eyes turning yellow or whatever in that weird flashback with Fortuna. So we did get to see that. I mean, that has not happened yet. So I do want to find out what happens with that. And I suspect, I mean, there's only like 3 episodes left, so we're probably going to get that maybe next week. So yeah, I mean, that's probably the only thing that really was interesting to me with the flashback stuff. But yeah, overall, I thought it was really refreshing. We didn't have no flashbacks. As for my negatives, I did have a couple negatives. There was a lot more positive stuff in this episode than there was negatives, though. First negative was this whole thing going on with Damien Dark, that his whole plan is to blow up the entire world with nuke stockpiles or whatever, and build a new world on top of the ashes of the old world, basically. I was like, oh, come on. I mean, that has been done over and over and over again throughout cinema, movie shows for decades and decades and decades. It's not original at all. It's been done before, and it's kind of old. That goes into another negative about the whole Genesis thing. This episode was called Genesis, and we didn't get any answers to what Genesis is. I mean, we had it referenced a few times. We seen the corn or whatever. We hear that, Genesis is coming. And that's what Andy tells Diggle. Genesis is coming. They didn't tell us what the hell Genesis is, really, other than, Damien Dark is going to shoot, these missiles or rockets or nukes or whatever and destroy the planet and basically build on top of that. But we still didn't get what Genesis is. We see the dome and all that. So, I mean, that was a disappointment that we didn't find out what the heck Genesis is. And this idea of blowing up the world and rebuilding, it's been done before, and it's just not very interesting or original or anything. So that was the few negatives that I had. Overall, I thought it was a solid episode. Another solid episode here towards the end of the season. Hopefully, we got 3 more episodes left, so hopefully that they can finish off this season really, really strong. We will see what happens next week, though. But hey, guys, if there's anything that I missed that you really liked about this episode, or anything you didn't like about this episode, please write in the comments below. But that will do it for me for this week for another review for Arrow. I will see you guys next week. Until then, take it easy.